Hi, welcome to our Zoho What's New live streaming video, or if you're watching this recorded, welcome to. Every month we do these What's New with Zoho to just kind of go over some new things that have come up in the CRM or other applications. And today I'm going to talk about custom buttons. Custom buttons is a workflow related type thing. So if you've worked with workflow before, you know that you can set up a rule and a rule gets triggered with certain actions. A trigger can be a record-based trigger where you're limited to create, edit, a field update, things like that. Or it can be a date-based trigger. So custom button is actually like a manual workflow trigger. You can set up a button and it can be located on various places. It can be on the create page, it can be on the view page of a record, it can be on the list view page of a record. So you can place it, a lot of different places. And when you click that button, you can set up or script an action to happen relative to that button. So again, workflow has always been, something has to happen in order to trigger that workflow. A custom button is like a manual workflow trigger. Very exciting, very new. And you might have seen it popping up when you go to your setup menu. There is a little pop-up message that comes up that says new custom button. So I'm going to show you how to use a custom button, and we're going to do an example of basically adding a phone mask, what I call phone mask script to a custom button. So what this will do is when I'm looking at my list of contacts, I can click a button, I can choose a bunch of contacts and I can click a button and I can make all my phone numbers uniform. So sometimes like when you import uniforms or different people coming in, adding contact records, some people put parentheses around a phone number. Some people like to separate the different parts by dots. Some people like dashes. And then, when you're looking at this, they're all looking at the list, they're all non-uniform. So this particular example is just adding what I call phone mask that'll make all the phone numbers uniform. And again, this is just an example. There's so many things you can do with custom buttons. But so let's jump into it. I'm going to switch you over to screen share, and I'm going to step through how to set up a custom button and then demonstrate how it works. Okay, so here we are in our Zoho, and I'm just looking at my contacts right now, and you can see this one has parentheses, this one has an extension in it, this one's separated, so they're all different. And here is my phone mask button that I've created, and when I select, you can select one or all of the contacts, so I'm going to go ahead and select them all, and then I'm going to click phone mask. It's working. And it's working. And eventually up here will pop up a message that says all phone numbers updated successfully. There we go. So all phone numbers updated successfully. I'm going to click that out. And now you can see they all changed. Where I had extensions, they popped over into the extension field. And now it's all a nice looking set of uniform numbers. Okay, so how did I do that? Let me demonstrate that. So I'm going to go into setup. And in this customization area, and again, if you more recently going into your customization area, there'll be like a little alert box that pops up here pointing to buttons, but here's the buttons right here. So I'm going to click buttons. And here's where you create your buttons. So if you were going to create a new button, you click create new button. I'm going to open the button that I already created. And it's basically, you're going to see kind of the same screen, only you would choose your module, give it a name. So I chose contacts, I gave it a name of phone mask, I gave it a description. And this is kind of important because when you mouse over that button in your on your screen, this is the description that pops up. So it's always good to give a clear, succinct description. And then you say where you want to place it. So I put my particular one, I put this particular button on the list view page so that I could do a whole bunch of records at once. If the button that you're interested in doing is really, it's something more strategic, so you would really be targeting one record at a time, then maybe you put it on the edit page or the view page. If it's something that you want to be able to do when you're creating a record, you'd put it on the create page. You also have the option to put it on the list view page, but have the button next to each record. So you could just go ahead and click, go down a list of records and click the button. But again, I chose to put mine on list view page. And then you have what you would like the button to perform. So I wrote a custom function. I'm just going to open that up. So I chose custom function, and will eventually pop up. This is what the function looks like. Why it's not popping up. But what's important is to know that you can just write any function relative to your button and add it there. You can also choose who can see the button. So maybe the button that you're adding, you want that only limited to administrators, or you can say everybody. So both administrator, standard, everybody can have access to that button. So here's where you set kind of your access to the button, and that's profile based. And then I click save, and I'm going to cancel out of this. So that's basically how you add a button. Now let's go through create new button screen. So just so you see how that works. So again, you can pick any module. I can pick, give it a name, and then I choose where I want to put it. So let's pick something different. Let's pick view page. And then what action would you like the button to perform? And here's where I can choose. I can say from existing actions, or define a write from a gallery, from something existing, or write my own custom function. Those are my choices. So if I do from existing actions, those are basically custom functions that have already been written. So this button is limited to tying it to a custom function. So it's similar, or it's different from a regular workflow rule, in that workflow rules you can tie the rule to an alert, or something along those lines. For the button, you have to write a custom function. Okay, I'm just going to cancel out of that. Let's see. So that's basically custom buttons. And again, you can put them anywhere. So if I put, oh, that's what I want to show you. Sorry, let me go back in here. Contacts, demo button. Say edit page. And when I choose that, this little link pops up, so I can see, well, what does that mean? As you're going through here, maybe you don't know, what does that mean, edit page? So you hit view, and it's going to show you a little diagram of where it will show up. Okay, same thing as if I click view page, and then I say view the place, it's going to show me what it's going to look like. Okay, just a little hint. Okay, so that is custom buttons. Come back on screen. So that's custom buttons. Again, it's sort of an adjunct to workflow, where workflow, you have rules that kick off or that trigger actions, and your actions can be things like an email being sent, or a field being updated, or a custom function being triggered. But again, those rules are either record based, something has to happen in the record, or something has to happen is something date related, so a certain date comes to fruition. The nice thing about custom button is a lot of times, when you're in and you're using your system, you might, after the fact, create a rule, and now you've got all these existing records that that haven't been triggered based on the rule because they're already been created. Say the rule is triggered on create, or it's triggered on edit, and the only way you had to bring those records up to speed is to go through and either open for editing, or go through each one. It was kind of a hassle. So now the beauty of the custom button is that you can now add a custom button and be able to use that to manually trigger workflow for a set of existing records that were already there when you create the workflow. So that's another great use of the custom button. So I'm looking at the question panel. I don't see any questions coming up. If you're trying to write questions and they're not coming up, please feel free to contact us through our website, marksgroup.net. with any questions, or you can write comments to this video if you're watching it after the fact, and we'll see those comments and respond. But I hope you found this helpful. And again, get in there, play with them, try to make one, just get a feel for it, see how it works. And I hope you have fun with it. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, or thanks for watching, and hope to see you next month.